The little boy's voice was soft, but it landed like thunder. "Don't cry, Uncle. You can borrow my mom." The man froze, tears still on his cheeks, because no one had spoken to him with kindness like that in years. People were rushing past, glass doors sliding open and shut, money and power filling the air. And yet, in that moment, the loneliest man in the building was seen by a child. His name was Daniel Hayes, and he was 38 years old. Once, he'd been someone people admired. Now, he was just a tired single father, holding a cracked phone and a worn briefcase that barely closed. Daniel stood in the lobby of a towering corporate building in downtown Chicago. The marble floor reflected the chandeliers above, mocking him with their shine. His hands were shaking, not from cold, but from exhaustion. He had come here for one last interview, one last chance, to save what little life he had left for his son. 3 years earlier, Daniel's life had collapsed in a hospital hallway that smelled like antiseptic and heartbreak. His wife, Laura, was only 34 when cancer took her. One moment she was squeezing his hand, whispering apologies for leaving too soon. The next, the machines went quiet. Daniel remembered holding their son, Noah, who was 6 at the time. Noah didn't cry. He just asked, "Daddy, when is Mommy coming back?" Daniel had no answer then. He still didn't. After Laura's death, everything unraveled. Daniel missed work to take Noah to school, to cook, to sit beside him during nightmares. His company didn't care about reasons, they cared about numbers. Within a year, Daniel was laid off. Savings disappeared. Friends faded. Calls went unanswered. Now Noah was 9 years old, thin, curious, and far too gentle for a world that had already hurt him. Daniel did everything he could. Night shifts, freelance work, selling his wedding watch. Still, bills stacked up like walls closing in. The interview today was for a janitorial supervisor position in a company so large it owned half the skyline. It wasn't glamorous, but it paid enough. Enough to keep their apartment. Enough to buy Noah new shoes. Daniel had brought Noah with him because he had no one else. The sitter canceled. School was closed. So Noah sat on a leather bench, swinging his legs, holding a small toy car with chipped paint. The interview hadn't gone well. "You're overqualified," the HR manager had said without looking at him. "I just need work," Daniel replied quietly. "We'll call you." They never called. Daniel walked out of the office, each step heavier than the last. When he reached the lobby, the pressure finally broke. He sat down on the stairs near a large indoor fountain and covered his face. He didn't notice Noah walk over. He didn't notice the curious eyes watching them from across the room. That's when Noah spoke. "Don't cry, Uncle. You can borrow my mom." Daniel looked up, startled. "What?" Noah pointed behind him. "My mom helps people when they're sad. She can help you too." Daniel wiped his face, embarrassed. "That's very kind, buddy, but I'm okay." Noah shook his head seriously. "No, you're not. Grown-ups cry when they think no one is looking." Daniel almost laughed. Almost. Behind them, a woman stood still. She was tall, elegant, wearing a charcoal suit that probably cost more than Daniel's monthly rent. Her hair was pulled back neatly, her expression unreadable. She had been on her way to a board meeting worth millions. Her name was Evelyn Carter. She was 42 years old, CEO of Carter Global Solutions, a billionaire, a woman feared in boardrooms and praised in business magazines. But right now, she wasn't a CEO. She was a mother. "Excuse me," Evelyn said softly. Daniel turned. "I'm sorry if we're in the way." "No," she replied. "You're not." Noah looked up and smiled. "Mom, he's sad." Evelyn knelt down to Noah's level. "I can see that." She looked at Daniel then, really looked. The tired eyes, the worn jacket, the man trying to hold himself together for his child. "Would you like some water?" she asked. Daniel hesitated, then nodded. "Thank you." They sat together near the fountain. Noah happily showed Evelyn his toy car. Daniel felt out of place like a stain on polished marble. "I'm Evelyn," she said. "Daniel," he replied. "And this is Noah." "You raised a very kind boy," Evelyn said. Daniel swallowed. His mother did most of that. Something flickered in Evelyn's eyes. "I'm sorry." They talked, not about money, not about jobs, just life. Daniel didn't know why he opened up. Maybe because she listened, really listened. No checking her phone, no rushing him. When he finished, he felt lighter, exposed, vulnerable. "I should go," Daniel said finally. "Thank you for the water, and for listening." Evelyn stood. "Wait." She reached into her bag and handed him a card. Plain, white, no flashy logo. "If you need help," she said, "call this number." Daniel looked at it. "I don't want charity." "This isn't charity," she replied. "It's connection." He nodded, unsure. As they walked away, Noah waved. "Bye, Mom." Evelyn smiled a real smile, one she rarely showed. That night, Daniel sat at the small kitchen table in their apartment, staring at overdue bills. Noah slept on the couch, curled up under a thin blanket. Against his pride, Daniel picked up the card and dialed. The next morning, everything changed. Daniel was offered a job, not janitorial, not entry-level, a project coordinator position, benefits, flexible hours. He thought it was a mistake. "It's not," said the voice on the phone. "Miss Carter asked for you personally." Daniel's heart pounded. Weeks passed. Daniel worked harder than he ever had. He arrived early, left late. He kept his head down. One day, he was called into the executive floor. Evelyn stood by the window. "How's Noah?" Daniel smiled. "He's happier. Thank you." She nodded. "Good." There was a pause. Heavy. "Daniel," she said, turning to face him, "do you know why I helped you?" He shook his head. "Because 9 years ago," she said quietly, "I was you." She told him everything. Her husband had died suddenly. She had a toddler and no support. She slept in her office. She cried in stairwells. A stranger once bought her coffee when she couldn't afford it. "That stranger saved my life," Evelyn said. "Kindness echoes." Daniel felt tears rise again. But the real twist came months later. A lawsuit surfaced. The company that laid Daniel off had committed fraud. Evelyn's firm acquired them. During investigations, it was revealed Daniel had been wrongfully terminated. Evelyn called him in. "You deserve justice," she said. The settlement was life-changing. Daniel paid off debts, moved to a better place. Noah got his own room. But the greatest reward wasn't money. It was belonging. Evelyn became part of their lives. Dinner conversations, school events, quiet moments. One evening, Noah looked at them both and said, "See, I told you my mom helps sad people." Daniel laughed through tears. Years later, Daniel stood on a stage, speaking about resilience. Evelyn watched from the audience. Noah, now older, waved proudly. Daniel began his speech the same way his life had changed. "A little boy once told me I could borrow his mom." And the room listened, because some stories remind us that one moment of kindness can rewrite a lifetime.